Show me your pukana. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then we had a very full day that day. We went to Te Papa. We had lunch and we went to Te Papa and we were met by Roger.
Yes. Energetic.
Yeah.
Energetic Roger.
Roger. Roger. And Roger just explained everything about New Zealand, so after that I didn't even need to talk. Right. We saw everything and we knew it all at the end. And then, what did we do? We went for a little wander. And we went to Parliament. And of course this was the day before the election, so we got to go to the Parliament and we went there and there was drama happening outside, and very glad that we had nothing to do with that drama. But it did, and we got to go around and we got to learn about our political system and how it's a very simple system, give or take a bit. And then we went out the back way and we headed and had some dinner, and then wow.
That was a full day.
Wow. That was a full day. So the next day we took it a little bit easy. And we got to go up the cable car. Some people had already done it, so they went up and they had the day free. We went up the cable car and we walked down and we saw naked sculptures and metal sculptures, and we had a nice lunch and we made it back down. And what else did we do that day?
We went to the Wild Museum that day, didn't we?
The next day we did. We got on the plane the next day.
Oh, okay. And then
and we flew down to Nelson where we saw the markets.
We went to the market.
The art and craft market with lots of hippies. Beautiful day, even though the weather said it wasn't going to be.
Cuba Street, yeah. No, we went to Cuba Street after.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we went to Cuba Street and we went to that night market and we got to eat some food there.
Yes.
That was a cultural treat. That one.
We used to
And we kept bumping into people we knew, and it was awesome. So in Nelson, we then went to the Wow Museum. It got wowed all over again.
Yes.
And they had cars too. Awesome
They
cars.
were beautiful.
And then what else did we do? We checked into our hotels, had a nice rest, and had dinner. Then the next day we went off to the Abel Tasman National Park, our smallest national park, but a very nice one. And we caught the boat out, and most of us walked, and some people caught the boat back in. We did the big hike up and down and up and down over the swing bridge of doom, and then down that big hill to the beach. The beach was the
You
hardest.
forgot about your drop.
Oh, you went swimming.
You went
almost
swimming.
naked.
Oh yeah, yeah. I jumped into the freezing cold stream, almost naked, but a bunch of Finnish people came along, and I thought I'd better not go naked. And then so we arrived. I was wet. And succulent seafood lunch. How was that?
Yeah.
Pretty good. And then we caught the boat back and headed back.
It was a wet landing, a wet launching.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had to walk with our feet in the sea to get there. It was fun. And what a beautiful day. We got fantastic weather. Then the next day.
No, you forget ice cream.
Oh, nice!
What a memory.
That's good. You guys fill in the gaps. So then we got the ice cream and they ground the fruit into it, and they were quite big and yum. And I bought some of the Fijoa things, but they didn't work out. Oh well. And then the next day, we had to drink wine and nibbles, and we saw little galleries, and we met little artists. I really loved, in particular, the greenstone artists. They were just genuine, nice, and had a great story about how they met each other in the most random way, and all those random things led them to working with the banana greenstone. So that was a fun day.
Yes.
Then, you know, with these trips, the quality of the trip sometimes is the difference between the best and the worst, and that range is the quality of your trip. So we build in that low end, and it's called airports and aeroplanes. so we got to catch the plane, and we flew over to Christchurch, and then down to Queenstown.
Show us on your tea towel.
Right.
Absolutely. So we've already jumped across from Wellington, across to Nelson, where we did the Abel Tasman. And then we flew to Christchurch, where my belly button is. And then we headed down to Queenstown, which is around about one of my kidneys. Which is an appropriate organ for Queenstown. Because they have about 350 different licensed premises, which means places that you can get a drink. But we didn't stick around there long. We drove around to TR now, where we got to see some of our native birds. We got to see the kakariki parrots, we got the kia parrots, kakapo, the night parrots, and kaka everything. Which might mean something else in another language, but that's alright. And then we had a nice meal that night, and that set us up. We were already a third of the way there, so we got to go into Milford Sound and have that cruise. And I thought the weather was great. The changing weather, we got clouds, we got to go out and see it all. I saw a penguin.
Yes, we did.
Yes, I saw, yes.
Liz saw it. It just went and died, and then we never saw it again.
But we saw fur seals.
We saw fur seals.
Yes.
Milford Sound is the place where the male seal goes because there's no females there and no really big males to keep them away from the females. So they're just basically a bachelor pad. And then we got in our coach and we watched a couple of New Zealand movies as we drove through. We stopped the movies for the beautiful parts of the scenery, and it all worked out.
Well chosen movies.
Hunt for the Wilder People, very nice. And I always get worried when I watch a movie again in case it ends badly, but it ended well, so that was good. And then we got to see the Last India.
World's fastest
India. The Last India. No, that was a bad movie. See, that's what happens in India. It ends up ending badly because I watched the wrong one. The World's Fastest Indian. Burt Munro, the local legend, got his bike and he made it go really fast and went to the United States, and you've got to watch it. Watch that movie, it's good. Then we got to Queenstown just in time to grab a bite to eat and walk back to our hotel. Then the next day, sheep farm. So we hopped on our coach and we drove out to Arrowtown, and we got to see the hills and the mountains and the beautiful drive in there. And we got to see the Chinese mining settlement. We walked through there, and by the time we'd done that, the shops had opened.
Went to Betty's liquor store.
Went to Betty's liquor store.
Yes.
Which is good because we got so many Bettys in this group that it was an appropriate name. And then we drove back into Queenstown and we hopped on a boat. We hopped on a catamaran and we headed across the lake, looking at some of the views along the way, which was spectacular. It was a beautiful day. And then we arrived at the Mount Nicholas station, where we were met by our guide, and we went up. What was her name, the Australian woman? Anyway, she took us up and we went up to a nice high place, and we were really lucky. Again, we arrived just as the shepherds on their horses.
Wranglers.
The Wranglers.
No, mustard.
Oh, they're musters?
It is mustard.
Okay, musters, okay.
The musterers were mustering the sheep, and the sheep were all moving up, and the sheep had just had their haircuts, and they kind of looked like, you know.
Don't forget those dogs.
Oh yeah, there was a whole bunch of dogs. They had about 20 dogs.
They really herded them.
And we got to see them herd them. So the merino sheep, it turns out, like going in circles like that. So they got them into a ball, and they were just going around and around and around. Quite fun, and the dogs were going around and around and around. It was cool. And here's our food, so we're going to have to stop at this point, and we'll pick up with part 2 of our journey, because that's about exactly